So this is basically part of that currency only basically, and here basically we saw that basically the entire Europe is going to suffer due to that person basically. Sorry, due to not person basically, Europe has delayed that work of the universe, right? So like this basically there are lots of stuff basically which connects to universe first. So here the people say that basically priority of the task basically are decided. Priority of the task basically governments decides that which task is supposed to do first. Which task is supposed to do first basically. Which task is supposed to do first. According to that basically they decide the task basically. Because task basically there are 20 lakh problem basically, right, in the India basically. So he is going to solve that basically. So how basically they categorize the stuff basically. And here basically the government basically have to think negative and positive both side basically. Because the public, if the public will know that basically this 5 crore task, 5 crore human clone basically are going to be created, and for their basically for that purpose basically they are creating these all areas basically, then they will create the problem to that area also basically. But unnecessary they are that public basically who have created problem, they are also going to suffer one day. Why? Because they are staying in India and India has delayed that work. So India is going to 100% suffer, but the friends of India basically are also going to suffer. That is 100% sure. That's why basically each and every country basically helps each other. For example, one person told that basically, basically, can you please help this person here? Basically, he's not having job in India, so can you please help him in Dubai? Basically, then he told that yes, basically, I will help him. You send basically him. I will 100% help him. So like this, basically, he helped him because he know basically it might possible that in future basically if he is not having job in Dubai, then he is only basically going to suffer because he basically has visited in Dubai and Dubai has allocated that person, that this person has came to Dubai, but they sometimes basically filters the data also basically that this person data is not supposed to allocate, so that basically in future basically Dubai blood cells is going to calculate this person basically was not visited basically, then how basically they are going to calculate the problem. So like these doctors basically are also there. They are basically given name as a smart doctor. They are given as a smart doctor. But the energy has already generated. This type of doctor basically has given one name, that is smart doctor. SMART, smarts. But energy has already generated basically in environment basically. That basically you can't basically escape basically. That he has visited in Dubai and basically he has not got the job and he has got the job. Like this basically energy generates. For example, one person visited in basically in as if that Bahrain, and basically he got the job and then basically he basically taken one house basically in Bahrain, and but after a certain time basically when he got the approval of the house basically his blood cells basically is allocated to Bahrain blood cells. His blood cells basically was allocated to Bahrain blood cells. For example, I will take my example. I don't have any house. I don't have my own house in my name. So, and basically I am staying in Vadodara city. So my blood cells is going to affect to Vadodara blood cells. Then basically if you are staying in Vadodara, then basically 100% it's going to affect one day basically. But the main blood cells is what? The owner's blood cells basically. And the sub blood cells are basically the people who are staying in this house basically. So like this each and every objects basically gets effects. Each and every objects basically gets effects. Each and every objects basically gets effects. For example, in Pune basically, assume that Pune blood cells is there. In Pune blood cells basically Pune blood cells is allocated to one person basically, and one person basically went to Pune, and then basically he got one house, and he basically taken one flat basically, uh, and he basically got the allocation also basically of the flat. So one day basically his name is going to allocate to that particular Pune blood cells basically. Why? Because he has taken the flat and the batch process has already allocated his name basically. Like this basically one person told that basically, is there any blood cells basically which gets not gets added? Then he told that basically yes basically this sometime happens basically. Few smart basically the doctors basically do that basically, but in future basically they are going to suffer basically. Reason, when the energy blood cells basically, sorry, when the energy basically data generates, that time that person basically blood cells basically has already generated. So like this basically things basically are also there basically. Like this basically things are also basically there basically. So this is very dangerous basically. So like this basically this way basically the system has created. Like this way the one system basically has created by one certain groups basically. Same way this connects to the 3 lakh incidents basically, which are created on the base of currencies, and currencies are directly connected to the areas that are basically the Andheri, Mumbai Central, Pune, Bangalore, Kerala, Bangalore, Chennai. Like this, each and every currencies are basically directly connected to this physical place, and this physical place means directly connected to the currencies, and currencies basically are directly connected to the physical place, and physical place are directly connected to that particular person, like Andheri blood cells, Chennai blood cells, Vadodara blood cells, Surat blood cells, Ahmedabad blood cells, Valsad blood cells, Vapi blood cells, Ankleshwar blood cells, Kerala blood cells, Odisha blood cells, Mumbai blood cells, Andheri blood cells, Dadar blood cells, Vilay Parle blood cells, Shanta Cruz blood cells, Borivali blood cells. Like this basically general things basically are connected with each other. So like this basically the currency chain basically is connected. That's why basically one person told that basically, can we create the currency energy basically? Then he told that basically it would be very easy basically to handle the thing basically. It would be very easy to handle the thing basically. Then he told that basically because things are basically now getting very complicated. Then one of the person basically who was basically the manager basically, project manager of one of the software company, he told that basically the things basically are complicated, but if we do perfect management basically, then that things basically complicated things become easy basically. So that's why basically the management basically teams are basically there basically. They basically just have to manage this stuff basically. They don't have to become doctor, they don't have to become they basically are not supposed to become each and everything basically. They are not supposed to become project manager, project software delivery head basically. They are not supposed to become CEO. They are not supposed to, they are just supposed to handle the stuff. They are not supposed to become the judge. They are not supposed to become the doctor basically. They just have to handle the city basically. That 5 crore example I have already taken, how basically the 5 crore people basically creation is going to happen, and one of the project manager got the post that basically you have to handle this 5 crore people, and you have to create this whole 5 crore people to this designation. So that task basically he literally basically he created the plan basically, and this plan basically is part of that project manager plan basically. So like this he told that basically he created, this means this type of thing is already basically, this all things basically are already done basically. So like this basically he told that basically like this basically the project manager easily basically handle the entire 5 crore people basically. He is basically not supposed to become the doctor or doctor basically. Like this he is just supposed to handle the stuff basically, nothing else basically you have to do. So this is also basically one of the part of currency. Next video we are going